how you do it, Molly. Do it. Dating people. No, you do not need a man, okay? So don't play the games. Just be you, straight out the gate.
Do you live around here? Because I live on aisle 6. Oh, it's terrible.
Was kind of terrible.
Sebastian, how are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. Such a pleasure to talk to you today. First question, and I mean this absolutely as a compliment. Would you say this is maybe the worst first date movie ever made?
Let's hope so.
Yeah, like there's so much, even in like the first couple of minutes where I was like, and it just proceeds to get worse. And again, I mean that as a compliment. It is, it's not at a first date schedule, but let me put it to you, Sebastian. What would Sebastian Stan's perfect first date be? Like for you, if you're the datee, what would you like? This is exactly what a first date should consist of.
Apropos to what we're discussing in the movie, just being able to be honest or feel honest enough with somebody to ask, okay, what is wrong with you? Let's get it out in the open, you know, like we might as well just go there. What do you think is wrong with you? And because again, I think that's one of the things about the movie that I love that it's asking is it's making us sort of, I hope will make audiences sort of think about those projections that we throw on that person on that first date. We seem to be so caught in our own film about what are our best qualities or what, you know, putting that best version forward and looking for certain things in the other person, which again are complicated because they're based on childhood and stories and narratives that movies have shaped, poems, and we sort of want it all, kind of, and you want to find someone to kind of give you that feeling that sort of encompasses all, and we want it quickly, and I think sometimes what happens is we sort of lose track of we don't see the red flags perhaps as much, and we mistake that person, or it takes a longer time to really get to know one another because both people kind of, again, are looking through certain filters. And again, hopefully you're not sitting across from someone like Steve when that happens.
That is the goal. Yeah. One of the things I noticed was your character in this is almost like an evil Christian Grey. From 50 Shades of Grey, in that like he is a man who's introducing a woman to, initially he seems like quite well to do and she's kind of unprepared for it, and then he introduces her to his particular world. And I did notice some like interesting parallels there. Would you say that's fair to like a fair kind of comparison, or were there other touchstones for you for that character?
Yeah, well, I think the idea of I've actually never seen 50 Shades of Grey, but I've certainly heard plenty of it. Went out for it, didn't get the role, but anyway, yes, I think this is someone who has a very specific way of life and has figured out a way to make that work for them, and in the most psychopathic, narcissistic way is coming at it from trying to find a willing partner in this world. Mm-hmm. And it's and that's, I think, what's terrifying about it, because he's so strongly looking for that, and has learned to be very good at being able to kind of manipulate his way through society, and of course the challenge becomes for Noah to be able to kind of psychologically outmaneuver him in this maze that he's put her into, and then it becomes a bit more complicated than your regular kind of protagonist antagonist story. It starts to become sort of a weird chess game between two people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just one last question, if that's okay. Off the back of Pam and Tommy there was a particular body part that was discussed a lot. And I think, not to give any spoilers away whatsoever, off the back of this movie, there's going to be a particular body part that's discussed a lot during a particular scene. Was there any of this that you were like, oh, this, like, even when you were in making it, were you like, this was particularly squeamish or difficult for you to film?
Well, look, in both cases, it doesn't feel salacious. Both cases I felt had, there were, you know, it was a moment in the storytelling that was very character revealing in a way, and it just happened to involve those particular body parts. But it wasn't so much about the body part as it was actually what's happening in the scene and what is helping us tell that story more, you know. And in the former that you brought up, it really is just a scene about a guy falling in love and confessing it. Obviously Tommy had written a book where his penis is a character in the book that he talks to. So I think the guys there were taking dramatic license and paying homage to the book, and envisioning a scenario as such. But it really at the core is still a very sort of simple, sort of sweet scene, in the sense that it's about a guy falling in love. And again, here, I think it was one of those things that I felt ultimately in the script felt earned. And it's really just more of a, I think, credit to Mimi and our director and Lauren, our screenwriter, to sort of having to kind of build up everything that builds up to that moment, sort of feels earned in a way to me. So it didn't distract, I guess, for me as an actor. It was just more, I think the approach in both cases, as we were lucky, was always to, okay, how do we tell the story? And do we need to tell the story this way or not? And it was always about sort of what feels earned versus driving at something with just this idea, oh, because we need, this is going to be talked about, or, you know, this is what's going to be said, or, you know, so I guess that was the approach.
Fantastic. Sebastian, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good day.
You too.
Forget this.